Hot to.
That respect.
All right, I'm ready to talk.
I'm Gagnutties, and I'm about to be a father. But I've decided to miss the birth of my child because the Talk Tuah podcast is out on all platforms today. I'm home, strapped in my seat, ready to do the equivalent of watching Jurassic Park in theaters. If you're not aware, there was this woman and she said, "Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing." What do you want from me? That's it. She said those words, and the most annoying coworker you have has recited it back to you in the most insufferable way imaginable. It all boils down to woman says phrase and has a career. A career backed by the most brain-dead people in society. Jesus wept. The Talk Tuah podcast is hosted by Hawk Tuah girl, Haley, and a celebrity guest that changes every week. I am already having such a hard time taking this seriously. The best thing to come out of this is the Minions Rise of Gru level love that people are pouring into the show. Ironically, this is society after Talk Tuah podcast. Everyone is missing their anniversaries, their graduations, they're skipping work, they're dropping out of school, missing the birth of their first child, that's the boat that I'm in, all for the release of the Talk Tuah podcast. It is sensational. Okay. This is how the podcast opens.
All right, I'm ready to talk. So I wanted to start my podcast out here in Belfast, Tennessee, where I was born at and where I've been ever since until a few weeks ago and everything changed.
Oh my lord, you just blasted me with so much exposition. I got your entire life story. Let's cool it on the acting a little bit. This is an attempt to turn a horrible meme into a personality-based career, and I don't see it happening. Anyone who enjoys Hawk Tuah meme doesn't know how to operate their phone well enough to navigate to the podcast section of Spotify, and everyone in the comments is just there to clown on the show. The Hawk Tuah meme is still massive, guys. It's absolutely massive. It's still growing, actually. The celebrity guest here is Whitney Cummings, whose whole shtick is that you can't say anything nowadays and everything's gonna get you canceled and everybody's too sensitive nowadays. Please watch my new Netflix special. How original. Definitely not something 85% of comedians are entirely branding themselves around. We are quickly running out of titles for Netflix specials, people. Pronouns. Have we not heard enough about pronouns? Someone please just kick me to my knees and put a hole in the back of my head. Everyone understands. I can't take it. Whitney Cummings essentially scooped this girl up Shark Tank style and is her fame mentor Dragon Warrior style. I bet the best advice she's got is as useful as that blank piece of paper. Haley is going to shill whatever Whitney tells her to. And there's two people behind the camera. One is her friend that appeared in that video with her, and the other is, what is he? Is he their manager? Why is he here? He gives us the worst first impression that I have ever experienced.
Then we got Jamie, of course. Jamie's one of the women.
Sure am.
We need a white man for diversity.
Exactly.
These days.
I agree.
What? He is the worst member of this podcast. Everything he says is just awful and belittling, and he has the worst takes imaginable. He's like, "No, women, please keep shaving your pubes. Growing the bush is gross."
Stop shaving your vagina hair.
Don't stop shaving your vagina hair. I don't know where the fuck Whitney's going with this. Don't stop.
No.
And I get Botox every month because I'm afraid of aging. Shut up! Your eyes are about to pop out of your head, dude. You've been blowing yourself up with chemicals too much. It is sad, really, because his archetype is the target demographic for a show like this.
The sweat does have to come out somewhere, and it usually comes out in your...
And your poochie banana?
I am going to drive through the doors of a Dollar Tree with Talk Tuah podcast playing as loud as possible. This is unlistenable. They have nothing to talk about. Talk Tuah girl is going to go down the route of Pearl if she doesn't get a grip on her career. I am calling it here. Being a right-wing grifter will destroy you. Just sell your t-shirts and get over it. They go into a deep philosophical conversation about what it was that made the Hawk Tuah video so sensational. Because what else are they going to talk about on this podcast but the one thing that everything hinges on?
Hot to.
There you go.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like to. You know, like really.
She proves she isn't just a viral moment. I don't know about all that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here now. This is like giving the damn Daniel guy a podcast. This is what we get for shutting down the Ellen Show. I think the good of that program outweighs the the bad for the abuse of the crew. What is so bad about the effect of Hawk Tuah and the consequences it has on society is that there are now an equal number of TikTok interviewers and women who each have canned their own catchphrase, walking the streets of Nashville trying to become the next Hawk Tuah girl. They are taking to the streets. I imagine you go outside there and it's just a crowd of drunk women and TikTokers just spewing vaguely sexual taglines over and over. AIDS was worse than this. Yeah, this is bad, but AIDS was worse. This is the most corporate podcast I have ever listened to.
I think Pookie needs to swallow an air tag.
This is really, really funny. You should do air tags that say Pookie.
Every single moment of this thing seems like it was optimized to be the most palatable to advertisers as possible, along with creating as much merch as possible. We're talking t-shirts, air tags, sponsors from betting apps.
Okay, maybe not.
Shit on that thing. That respect.
Yeah,
Dabbing in the year 2024 is crazy work. What can I even say? This is unbearable. I thought this was going to be a lighthearted, jokey little session where I made fun of some people that I'm kind of jealous of, but I can't stand this. Oh my god. Everything in this show has this liberals bad slight to it. But these people are the type to get mad and freak out when they see a purple car.
I'm leaving California. The straw that broke the camel's back was a purple Tesla. I can't do it.
It's a purple car. Not that special. I see one every week. Don't you like a little whimsy in your day-to-day life? I know that these people that are propping her up cultivate an audience of right-wing people. Like, they would gladly have her on Fox News. I'm not sure if they have or not, actually. They are going to be having the most creepy child predator type dudes stalking their Instagrams and stuff. According to this podcast, they already do.
Be reading my DMs and I'm like, oh my god, I'm posting these. This is my audience right here. No, it's freaky.
It's going to be wild. Episode 3, they're going to start breaking out the high-value woman talk that they all do. Even in this episode, they talk about how the Hawk Tuah girl should be cleaning house and making dinner for her boyfriend when he gets home from work because he works at a construction site.
How about you cook a meal so when he comes home from his construction job, there's food waiting?
I mean, I could do that. I don't know. I'm weird like that. Like, you gotta earn that from me.
Okay.
Dude, he needs to quit his job and do that for her. They are pretty much set for life. If anyone wants a Hawk Tuah redemption arc, I am sure a few people do out there somewhere. Conceptualizing this video, I did as well. Now, I think I miss my wife. Subscribe to my channel. We are now the second slowest growing army in all of YouTube. Just passed up some guy who hasn't uploaded in 8 years. Thank you for going through this with me. I promise that Hawk Tuah won't be a subject that I'm going to be talking about anymore. Goodbye. Do I promise that? It depends.